Okay, welcome back to another episode of Everything Everywhere All at Once, finding certainty and meaning in all the chaos and mayhem that surround you. I'm your host, Stephen Edwards, and we are on principle number 3 of 4 in the principles of the creation of wealth at the quantum level. We're talking about quantum wealth, right? So we've done a lot of background so far on, challenging what we believe, not being counterintuitive, but being counterconformative, questioning the things that we've been taught for generations that have taken our freedom away. We've talked about leverage being the primary principle in the creation of wealth, then math, right? So we need to use both. And the third principle we're going to talk about today is systems, all right? So systems is the third principle. So systems are a principle of wealth, right? So we live in a solar system, right? We live in an ecosystem, right? So systems are everywhere. Our brain is a system. Our lungs are a system. Our heart is a system. Our kidneys are a system. A blade of grass is a system. Everything in nature is a system. And so nature is trying to show us how to not only survive, but thrive in the universe in which we live in. The universe being the one song, right? So we live in an illusion of separation. We live in the illusion that we are separate from each other and from nature, when we are actually a part of nature, not apart from nature, right? So we need to start to do what nature does, which is apply systems, right? In every area, right? So we've learned that in terms of technology and systems that allow us to actually circumvent nature. And now we need to realign with our nature and use systems to reconnect with each other and our nature. And we're starting to do that. We're starting to get connected again. We've got the Internet of Everything, the Internet of Things. We've got, Starlink and other forms of satellites, very low-level satellites that are allowing us to blanket the Earth with the ability to link everybody together and provide everybody with the opportunity to access the Internet. And if we can access the Internet, we can access AI. And if we can access AI, the ability to access information has been democratized. What did I tell you? And the fact that it's free means it's been demonetized. Yes. And there is no one country that has access to all that. So it's also been decentralized. Told you. All right. So systems are going to help us to do that. And so the systems that we're using right now are technology driven. Now, ultimately, and I've said this before, all this technology exists within us because we are electromagnetic beings, right? Every cell of our body, of which there are trillions, has an electrical charge. Yes, so there's enough electrical energy within our cells to light up the world, at least a city. We'll start there, all right? But we've got to learn how to connect to that energy in our cells. And yes, we're going to talk about how we're going to be able to do that and the journey to get there, right? So we now have the access to technology, which allows us to develop systems without you having to figure it out on a piece of paper. And people then say again, and I mentioned this before, well, Stephen, if we're not going to need to do any of these things, are we going to become less intelligent? This intelligence is going to become superior to us and it's going to take over the world. And no, it isn't. Let me tell you why. And this was a quote from Jack Ma, actually, who started the company Alibaba in China. He said there's a war going on right now, a war of technology. And it's really an internal war, right? It's not an external war. It appears in the external world, but it's really going on within ourselves and projected into the material world. But anyway, so he said this war with technology, humans will win. And I don't know if you might watch Sadhguru. He said the same thing, right? And that is, we created it. And we've created it to free us, to do all the things that we have to do right now so that we don't have to do them anymore. So we can just be who we really are. to express our unique creative energy. So AI is not a bad thing. It's a wonderful thing, and we've asked for it. However, as we become more powerful, we have to be more careful with the power that we create. And that means we've got to stop identifying with the external world. We've got to stop identifying that we are of a particular country, a particular religion. All that identification, false identification, is causing wars. I mean, we've got what's going on in Palestine and Israel right now. It's all identity crisis. And people are forgetting that we're all part of the same universe, the same earth. And we think that we are a particular religion or a country, and we got a problem. So this is a wonderful opportunity for us to have what we're going to create, which is radical abundance, and of which you are going to be a part, whether you like it or not. Okay, so the third principle is systems. We've got to systemize things, right? Because if we create systems, the system doesn't need you. Look, there's an almighty creator that created all of this, and he's never around. He's totally on vacation. Because systems were created that run everything. And we're going to have systems that run everything for us and give us the freedom that we've always wanted. We deserve, and has been there all the time. We just couldn't see it. All right? So, leverage, math, systems. These are the principles. We'll get into the hows and wherefore later. So, in the meantime, we're going to get into episode number 4 of these 4 principles, which is momentum. In the meantime, sapere ord, dare to be wise.